else that you want to share before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just I want the young people to understand that it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot of following of
Mhm.
young adults, and how proud I am of you
Yeah.
for doing this and doing everything that you do.
Thank you.
I think that it's very important
Yeah.
that what you're doing is important. And
Thank you.
when Teresa told me that you was doing this, it was immediate that I was trying to figure out how to get here. So
Yeah.
not that I'm anything special, but I want to help you.
Yeah.
Um, to and hopefully we said something here today that will help you.
Yeah.
And when I say you, it helps everybody, right? I mean, as
Yes.
we're telling these stories, and we're getting these things out there, it shows that we all have struggles, no matter what it looks
Mhm.
like from the outside,
Yep.
and we're all human. And again, I just want to leave everybody with that. Just give it all to God, and it'll
Yeah.
be okay. And I'm not
Yeah.
a preacher, and I'm not perfect,
Same.
and I'm not perfect, and
Same.
I still struggle, and I still have my faults.
Yeah.
Um,
We all
but
do.
but I know at the end of the day, I'm striving to be a better person. I'm trying to leave this. I'm trying to do the best for my county
Yep.
and my state as I can, and
That's so
for
good.
my family.
Yep.
And that's the selfish part of this. You know, I'm here to save the next generation.
Yep.
I'm here to help my kids. I'm here to help my grandchildren
Yeah.
in this fight that we're in as a society with our morals and whatever. So
Yeah.
whatever dent I can make,
Yeah.
or splash, whatever you want to call it, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to, when we sit down, um, and this, and the reason I'm going to say this is because it goes with what we're talking about. But when I sit down and told my family that we were going to do this, I didn't make this decision on my own.
Yeah.
Um, it, my family had to be all in,
Mhm.
and I said we have to be willing to lose everything
Mm.
for the greater good,
Wow.
and we have to. We do,
Mhm.
all of us,
Yeah.
right? Um, no matter what happens, we cannot deny God.
Yeah.
I would like to sit and I would like to think that I am the guy that'll stand up in Charleston and die for my God
Mhm.
and for my county and my
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
I, Now, obviously, none of us know that until that minute comes, right?
Right.
But the odd guy that I am, I lay in bed awake at night because of the world we live in. We think about these things. Would I actually deny God if I had a gun to my head?
Yeah.
So I try to train myself that no, I will not,
No. Yeah.
because this world's only for a minute anyway.
Yeah.
So again, back to just what I've tried to stress this whole day, this whole morning, is if I could get through to anybody, any young person, is don't be afraid to
Yeah.
be laughed at,
Yeah.
because none of it matters,
Mhm.
or questioned,
Yeah. And I
because it's
would,
bigger.
yes, it is. And I would encourage people, like, tying back to the Bible in First Peter, it talks about that a lot, and it is like it does talk about the persecution that we're facing. Right, there's people in the world that are facing persecution,
Real
like
persecution.
losing their life, but that it talks a lot about, like, being made fun of, and there is times like that people might talk about you, or you might not get invited to certain things, and like that is okay. Like, I can tell you, the friend group that I have that, like, is like-minded Christians, like, it's so much more life-giving to be around them than, the friend group that I had when I was not living for Christ. Like, because it just brings you down.
Young people, uh, understandably, they measure their life and their in the friends, right,
Mm-hmm.
of the cliques that they're in.
Yeah.
Trust me, 35 years after high school, I have none of the same friends.
Yeah.
Those people are gone, right?
Yeah.
Um, they've moved on with their lives. Whether we live in the same community or not,
Yeah.
we've all moved on with our lives. And as you get older, the less friends you really have. It's
Yeah.
all about family with me, right?
Yeah.
I got friends, don't get me wrong, and they mean
Yes.
a lot to me, but it's not the same surroundings. It's not the
Right.
same circles.
Right.
So
Exactly.
just if we can leave here anything today, I want people to know that you can do anything, and you don't have to worry about who cares about what people think.
Yep,
I've never been
exactly.
that guy. I just don't care. I go to Charleston and I stand up.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care.
great.
I'm not down there to blow up the system.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I'm not down there like some to just cause problems.
yeah,
I'm down there to be a leader
yeah.
and to try to do the best I
That's so
can.
good.
And you can do anything. We can
Yeah,
do it all. If I
yeah.
can do it, anybody can do it.
Yes, and I want to encourage you. What this keeps coming to mind too, but seek somebody out that's older than you that can disciple you and pour into you, and that you can learn so much from. Like I just asked, she said she was going to pray about it, so I don't know the answer yet. But I asked an older lady in my church about discipling me literally last Sunday, and she might be 80, but her husband was a business owner. Like she is such a strong woman of God. Like, and she serves older women in our church, like, and leads a women's group. So just a lot of things I feel like, and I told her, I said, it doesn't have to be anything special. We could just meet up for an hour once a month, and you can just share any wisdom that you have about being a wife and a mom and a woman of God. Like that's, or we can like dive into a book of the Bible or just talk for the hour. And so, because in college I had women disciple me, and then when I moved back here, I've discipled a lot of people since then, a lot of girls, but like seeking that out, somebody that's a few steps ahead of me. And if she's not able to, like, I'm not gonna give up. I'll find somebody else and just pray, like, God, who else do you want me to ask? Because I think seeking out that wisdom of people who have come before us and have experienced a lot of this stuff, like if they can point us, like, yeah, I've been there, this is how I got through it, or maybe don't take that turn because I did and this is what I experienced, and it would save us a lot of trouble. So don't be too proud to think that we know it all, because we don't at all. And even the older generation isn't either, but they can teach us so much because they've lived so much more life than us. So that would be my big challenge to you guys too. Okay, so how can our listeners be praying for you today?
Just I always ask for prayer for to give me the wisdom and the strength to get through
Mm-hmm.
it. We have a good bunch of people down there. It's not hard in our state to keep your faith and be in Charleston.
Yeah,
It's really not.
that's
Some
great.
some states are harder, but that would be my ask. Give me the strength to do the hard stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the wisdom to do the hard stuff, um, and to stay humble.
Yeah, that's
Never
good.
lose sight of who we are or who I am. And I always told my family, if I do get to that point, you make sure I know and I quit,
Yeah, and that's
because
what
I'm
you.
not doing the right thing if it's for me.
Yeah, that's what's great about family, right? They keep us
They will.
humble. Like they're gonna see they're gonna see every single part of us, the good and the bad, and they're gonna call us on our stuff. So I think that's great that you invited them into doing that, like, and told them, like, you need to call me out on whatever. Like when it came to starting this, like I told our pastor and I told a few people, I was like, if you get the chance to listen to it, and if there is ever anything that I say that is sideways or not, I always pray that everything that I say is biblically sound, because I do feel like I'm held accountable. The Bible is clear about that for what I am saying and teaching, and or whatever. But I was like, call me out. I'm not going to take offense over that. We need each other in that way. So yeah, that's so good. And then when it comes to praying for wisdom, that's something that I pray for every day too. And in James, I think it's James 1:5, it tells us to ask for wisdom and he will give that to us. And those that are lacking in understanding, and that's me. Like I need wisdom every single day for every aspect of my life. So yeah, let me pray for you real quick. God, we love you, and we just thank you for this time. Thank you for the ways that you've worked in Darren's life. And I just pray that you will continue to use him in mighty ways to serve our state and our nation, and that you will just give him wisdom and guidance and discernment for all the decisions that he's making and what you're calling him to. We just pray for strength over him as well, and that he will not grow weak and weary in what he is doing. And we just want to take the time to pray over our state in general, that you will just strengthen it. I pray that you will continue to call up other Christian leaders to serve and just be a light and further the kingdom, just make a huge impact on our state and our country, Lord. So we are just trusting you with that. And we are just so thankful for the work that you have done in and through our lives and that you will continue to do. We pray all these things in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed that episode with Darren Thorne. It was so encouraging to just hear him be so open and honest and vulnerable and step out of his comfort zone to share with you guys the work that God has done in and through his life, and just what he came from and what he has done with grit and tenacity, and just to get him to where he is today. And he has partnered with God in and through that. And so I just want to encourage you guys, if you're feeling down, if you are at a place where he shared that he was, that you will just ask God to help you to have the eyes to see him in and through those valleys that you're walking through. I hope that you guys pray for wisdom and guidance, and that if you see a need that needs met in your community and in your world, and it is part of, the God-given gifts that God has given you, that you will step out of your comfort zone, and that'll be so faith-building, and just meet the needs yourself and just ask God's hand and his blessings over it. So yeah, I hope that this conversation really encouraged you guys. Next week, we are going to have on the podcast Sam Serball. She's one of my best friends, and we're going to talk a lot about parenting and just life, and she's going to share some of her story with postpartum that I know is so hard to share, that a lot of you have experienced. So whether you're a man or a woman, it's going to be a really important conversation and testimony that I hope encourages each of you. All right, we'll see you guys next week, and I'm praying for each of you. Bye, guys.